That final bell will sound a little bit early for hundreds of students across the metro today thanks to our high temperatures and no AC in the buildings. Right now on Denver 7 News at 7 a.m. on Local 3, we have team coverage as a heat wave forces some Denver schools to close ahead of schedule today.
He didn't hesitate. He was ready to sacrifice his life for others.
I saw the headlights coming at me, scared, absolutely scared. I thought about my family, of course, and I do have a baby on the way.
This Colorado deputy being praised this morning for stopping a wrong-way driver.
And this time next week, we'll be talking about Russell Wilson's first game, hopefully first win as a Bronco, as history seems to be on our side. The number of opening games he has won. Again, he'll be on his former home field.
Yeah.
So an emotional day for him, I'm sure. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Brian Sanders.
It's going to be emotional for everyone, I think. I'm Nicole Brady. We want to get over to meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo covering the near record-breaking temperatures we could see today. Hopefully by next Monday, they'll be down a lot.
Yeah, this is pretty unreal. The next 3 days, we're looking at record-breaking heat potentially for 3 days in a row. Starting today, right now, you're going to find upper 60s, low 70s. It's really comfortable out there. Nice and pleasant for at least the next few hours. Take a look at how things are going to warm up, though. Low to mid 80s by 10 o'clock. That's typically what we see for a high by about 4 o'clock this time of year, low 80s. We're going to get there at 10. We'll be a good 10 degrees warmer by 1 o'clock, and then we'll tack on even a few more degrees by 5. Between 4 and 5 o'clock, Denver 98. Some triple-digit heat from Platteville to Keensburg, Fort Morgan, and Sterling. 97 in Boulder. Just 10 degrees cooler in Evergreen, upper 80s, near 90 up and through the foothills. We do have a slight chance for a few thunderstorms in the mountains this afternoon, but it's going to be hot and dry across the plains, which makes it really tough to concentrate. Veronica Acosta continues our team coverage, and Veronica, in some of these old DPS buildings, it is tough for those kids when, well, there's no AC and it just gets brutally hot in the afternoon.
That's the problem, right? Several DPS schools don't have air conditioning, the one that's right behind us being one of them. And students, like you mentioned, they just cannot sit in those classrooms and try to get any work done when they don't have that really precious technology. So take a look at this list on your screen here. These are 4 of the DPS schools that'll be having early release because they don't have air conditioning. So like I mentioned, McAuliffe International, that's where we are this morning. They will have early release today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And then we know Denison, Montessori, and Godsman Elementary students, they're getting early release just today. Skinner Middle School students, they get to leave class earlier than usual, only tomorrow. Now, just to give you an example of how hot some of those classrooms can get, DPS officials told us on days like today, when temps are really high, some of those third floor east-facing classrooms, they can reach over 90 degrees, you guys. This goes without saying, but the district is encouraging parents to make sure you pack your students a nice filled water bottle just in case they need it at any point today. And it is important to mention that I did reach out to DPS earlier this morning. I asked them about busing and schedules there. They told me that for these schools that are being released a bit early, they will have a bus for those students to get them home right away. Students won't have to wait around much longer after school ends in order to be able to get home, hopefully to some air conditioning. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Yeah, right, because it's going to be hot outside too. Thank you, Veronica. For some context, 48 DPS schools don't have air conditioning. That's down slightly from 55 schools that were without AC back in 2020. That year, voters approved a nearly $800 million bond for projects including installing AC in 24 schools. So far, 7 of those schools have AC. Work is almost finished on 8 other campuses, but there have been some delays because of supply chain issues. AC will be installed at 9 other schools next summer.
And right now, the hot spot on the roads is going to be on I-70, that eastbound side right here after I-25. We started with a motorcycle crash coming off of I-25 at I-70, and then as all that traffic started to push towards Brighton Boulevard when it was clear. Take a look just a moment ago, Air Tracker 7. You can see the 2 cars over here on the left shoulder, but it's a combination of the sun glare, the cars pretty close to that left lane, and that's all slowing down the traffic. And you can see it's pretty significant for us, about 18 or so minutes, 20 minutes from Federal all the way across I-25 over to where that wreck is. So that's just in that wreck area right there. It's also slowing northbound 25 coming across to I-70. So it's a really busy spot right now. A lot of stop and go traffic across downtown, a half an hour overall there, and a lot of traffic. If you wanted to try to use 270 as one of your alternates, that's going to be about 15 minutes. So it's about the same amount of time whether sticking with I-70 or trying to use 270 as your alternate route. I-225 getting busier. No problems reported up there around Alameda on that northbound side. It's just congestion that goes through there. It's that bridge that usually slows some folks down, and then getting busier down the south side of town. But again, nothing major for us going on right there. But those are your I-70 drive times, and it's pretty significant for you across town.
A new acting chief will take over Denver's police department today. Mayor Hancock nominated Ron Thomas to lead the department. He'll serve on an interim basis after current chief Paul Pazin announced his retirement. Thomas is a Marine Corps veteran and has been with DPD for more than 30 years. He was the chief of the patrol division.
Well, tomorrow, a brave Colorado deputy will be back at work after stopping a wrong-way driver with his own patrol car. These images show the aftermath here. Both vehicles were very badly damaged. Fortunately, the deputy and the person in the other vehicle were not seriously hurt. But this happened along I-70 on Sunday evening. Deputy Mike Hutton stopping that driver by getting right in the way.
Before I knew it, I saw the headlights coming at me and a line of cars behind me at about mile marker 385. And within seconds, I had to make the decision to just place my vehicle at a little bit of an angle and just take that hit myself. To protect people that are innocent, from serious injury or death is an absolute priority of mine.
Wow. Authorities are investigating if the wrong-way driver may have experienced a medical condition. No charges have been filed yet. Deputy Hutton has had some close calls in the past. Last year, he was shot 3 times while responding to a theft.
Our sister station KOAA in Colorado Springs is working to raise money to better protect law enforcement. Anchor Ira Cronin will bike across Colorado, going from the Utah border all the way to the Nebraska border in 5 days. And the ride will raise money to purchase rifle-rated vests for 10 law enforcement agencies, including CSPD, Woodland Park PD, and the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. That department just had a deputy killed in a shooting. Andrew Peary was responding to a domestic incident in the town of Security last month, and emotions from that night are still high.
We were there before they finished working, trying to save his life. And I can just tell you that it takes away a piece of your soul.
And that loss is palpable, and it's real, and it's tragic, and it's heartbreaking, and there's no easy way through it.
So we'll be following Ira's progress across the state throughout the week. You can donate right now at shield616.org.
It's now up to the Justice Department to decide its next move after a judge agreed an outside official should review those seized documents from Mar-a-Lago. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Good morning. The judge's decision allows one investigation to go forward, but stalls another. The government can look into if storing these classified materials at Mar-a-Lago damaged national security, but temporarily can't use the documents in the DOJ's investigation into why and how they got there. This morning, a federal judge in Florida agreeing with former President Donald Trump's legal team in the battle over reams of classified documents seized by the FBI from Trump's Florida estate, Mar-a-Lago. The judge granting Trump's request that a special master and independent outside official be appointed to go through the documents, temporarily blocking the Department of Justice from using the seized records in their ongoing investigation. Explaining her decision, Judge Eileen Cannon, a Trump appointee, citing the unprecedented nature of the case and writing, "A commitment to the appearance of fairness is critical now more than ever."
This doesn't end the investigation, but this could, again, throw a wrench in the works for what DOJ has been trying to do.
But the judge's ruling does not halt the government's damage assessment, determining if storing an estimated 700 pages of highly classified material, some with markings of secret or top secret, inside Mar-a-Lago impacted national security. The judge set a deadline of this Friday for both sides, Trump and the DOJ, to propose a list of candidates they want to be special master in this case. The DOJ has not yet signaled if they'll appeal the judge's ruling. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
1 week from today, we are going to be breaking down Russell Wilson's first game as a Bronco, or at least I'm going to let our sports guys break it down. I won't have much to say. I'll just be hopefully celebrating the win. Yeah, right?
Yeah, meanwhile, others will be dissecting every move he makes.
Yes.
After months of anticipation, his big debut is 6 days away at his former home stadium in Seattle. But the numbers don't lie, and Russell seems to thrive in September. He has a 7-3 record in his last 10 September games with 29 touchdowns, 1 interception. A great ratio there. He has won his last 3 season openers. In fact, the last time Russell lost on opening day was here in Denver at Empower Field, 2018. The Broncos beat the Seahawks 28-27. So hopefully he's on the right side of the ball this time.
Going to flip that, right? Yeah. And a bigger score, I hope, too. A bigger
margin of victory.
A margin,
yeah.
Yes. Okay, you can watch Russell's Broncos debut right here on Denver 7 Monday night. Our pregame coverage starts at 5 p.m. Kickoff is at 6:15 from Seattle. And then, of course, stick around for our postgame show.
How much are you tipping these days? It maybe went up during the pandemic, but find out why new technology might have us tipping less now.
Also, an incredible story of survival. How many days a man survived by holding onto a freezer floating in the ocean?